sitting on my back porch as sun goes down. I'm having a glass of mead, and I'm getting yelled at by a half ounce of Ren, who says that's my back porch. I'm doing some math. It's amusing to me because here I have the pen is from the Van Nuys Center for Cosmetic Surgery, specializing in difficult gender reassignments, tucked back behind Ralph's on Route 123. Call, and it's got a number. It's fake, but it actually works because nobody else wants to steal that pen. How cool is that? But I'm doing math and thinking about a project. Okay. Here's for drilling speed on a 5mm diamond, and it's 10 rotations per minute, is 600 RPM, and a 3mm shaft, that's nominally an eighth of an inch, and that will give us some numbers. And what am I trying to make? Well, here's some of the parts. I've got a sheet of copper that's 6 inches by 6 inches, and I beat one end so that it will go around this shaft, which is attached. I mean, I'm making it out of copper because that's what the ancients would have done. Here is a diamond chip, that spiky thing. That'll grind through stone. Not a good choice for wood, which will carbonize and yield so it will not cut. But for stone, that's what you want. And here I say it's, 2 millimeters in diameter. I'm sorry, 180 millimeters in diameter. And we're sticking that inside, 120 millimeter hole for the shaft holder. I mean, that's what that's for. 10 inches long, and that's 6 inches tall. So that is going to stick out by, 4-ish inches. Okay, all I'm going to need for this is a copper sheet, a copper rod, and glue and diamond. Yeah, I'm going to attach a diamond to the end of a copper rod. So why would I do that? There's the vision. The copper sheet gets coiled into a 3-inch diameter pipe that does not join. The shaft goes up through that hole, and a string is wrapped around it, several laps, and that's just for friction. One lap is all you need. Multiple laps are there to increase friction. And it's put on a bow. So what you have, in essence, is a bow saw. That's primitive technology. And then it has a diamond on the tip. That's also primitive technology, and a bit of glue, and they knew how to glue things, and a pipe, which is now that flat bit of copper plate, copper sheet, and you can beat copper thin, and then cut the dimensions, and then wrap it into a circle so that there's a gap. And the reason you want a gap is every time you spin this a little bit, the circle of pipe is advanced just a little bit. And this pipe is not flat across the bottom. One side is 1/10 of an inch higher than the other, so that you're going to, as it goes around, it's going to travel, and by the time it makes one lap around the pipe, and the pipe is driving it in that circle, you will wind up with, you have sunk the diamond. It will have ground a path. It's easier at first, but as it gets deeper, it slows down, and, well, it gets harder or more difficult. And now you are down by 1/10 of an inch. And that's why you want that side to be below that side, okay? Because now, as you've gone all the way around, that side is following the other one, but it's 1/10 of an inch below. So it's going to make a series of spiral cuts. As it goes down, each one is 1/10 of an inch. Okay, we've found these in Egyptian pyramids. We found the core that this drills out, and we found the hole that it has left behind. It wasn't rocket scientists, okay? These were as smart as we are, perhaps slightly smarter, but they had different things to work with. They could not put diamond powder all the way around this and turn this at 500 RPM. It might have been more efficient, but they had no idea how to do that. And also, where does the pressure come from? They had copper. It would not last. You can't use sand. That's silly. But every lap, a tenth of an inch further down. Now, my numbers say that each lap costs an hour. I don't believe my own numbers. I think it would be probably closer to 10 or 15 minutes per lap. Don't know. But they've found the cores, and they've found the holes. And they have spiral cuts. How would you do that? Okay, here's another one that scientists don't know how to do. How would you make one of these things that's conical so that it's wider at the top than at the bottom? Well, imagine this with a bit of a cut on it so that as you sunk, it shrunk. Now you get your cut that is not cylindrical. Anymore, to do that, you'd need really fancy equipment back then. Dang it, it's not drilling straight. Wah. And they would knock it out and continue, do whatever they needed. But if you need to drill in stone, and you don't have electricity and fanciness, this is pretty simple. It's a fixture to hold a rotating diamond tip. That's the point of the fixture. And the string out here is to give that diamond its rotation. Cut on. All right, one of the things is that stupid diamond at the tip. If I use some sort of cubic zirconium, they're just as hard as a real diamond. It's going to set me back $30 to $50. Depends upon the size and more or less the shape. And I need something that's more or less, when I put it on the tip of this rod, it needs to have all sides equal. So I'll probably do something that mounts this correctly. And I'm going to go not exactly old school. I'll use some sort of a dental adhesive. That diamond is not coming off of that copper. And I'm not going to put a lot of force on it. It doesn't need force. What it needs is to go 10 rotations left and then 10 rotations right. And then the saw will take it 10 rotations left and then 10 rotations right. These kind of things are what engineers think about. We see something old school, like Egyptian pyramid old school. How'd they do that? I think I know how. I haven't asked for money ever on my channel. I'm asking now. If anyone wants to chip in $10 towards doing this and physically creating a stone drill out of Egyptian technology, I'll take it, okay? If nobody wants it, if nobody's gonna say, yeah, I'll give you $3, I'd like to see the follow-up video, then you know what? I'm going to make the follow-up video. So, instead of voting with a thumbs up, which is always nice, thank you, please vote with a monetary contribution. I'm not asking for $1,000, which still wouldn't pay for my time in the project. I'm just saying, if I need to buy, $50 worth of equipment, if you want me to do it, I'll do it. I'll put in the time. You put in a couple bucks. Thank you, and leave me a couple comments.